F-35. Lightning, hailed as the most advanced combat aircraft ever built. Over $1 trillion spent. Over 1,000 jets deployed. Countries relying on it to define their air power, but what if one day Europe said no more? No more dependence on American stealth. No more foreign software locks. No more waiting for Washington's green light to defend European skies. Today, European nations are quietly preparing for a future without America's F-35. But the question is, can they actually replace it? This is not just about aircraft. It's about geopolitics, industrial power, and the future of war. In this hour, we break down the fighters, the strategy, and the cold reality. Can Europe build something better than the F-35? Or will it always fly in America's shadow? Let's find out. From 1995 to 2024, European Union spent 1.5 to 1.9% of its GDP. Even European Union also spent below 1.5% of its GDP. But in 2025, European Union started to spend 3.5% of its GDP because of Russia-Ukraine war, and Europe need to spend a huge euros on 6th-gen fighter jet. And European Union lost trust on United States. The treatment the leaders got from Donald Trump, Europe depends heavily on it for defense and NATO missions, but rising political tensions, tech dependency, and industrial interests are pushing Europe to create its own fighter jets. But why Europe wants to replace the F-35? Because Europe wants strategic independence relying on the United States means following America's foreign policy. If F-35 Jet Air Force is operating to fly for 1 hour, it will cost $28,455. That's a huge cost. If afterburner is used in dogfight, it will cost a lot of money. The F-35 is not just expensive to buy, fly, repair, or purchase spare parts. It literally drained the wealth of country. Data sharing and software are controlled by the United States. Buying American jets sends billions of euros to USA companies. Building European jets would create jobs and boost local tech. European countries like United Kingdom purchased more than 138 F-35 fighter jets. Turkey, Italy, and Norway are the top 10 buyer of F-35. So there is issue of kill switch in F-35. Europe wants to control its own technological sovereignty, artificial intelligence, radar, stealth, and weapons, without depending on the US-Europe's efforts to replace the F-35. With joint program with France, Germany, and Spain working on future combat air system to make indigenous 6th-generation stealth jet, drone swarms, and artificial intelligence first flight expected by 2030s. Full readiness around 2040. Companies like Dassault, Airbus, Indra Sistemas are working together on Project Future Combat. Air system is important for Europe for strategic autonomy, reduces reliance on United States F-35 and defense systems. Aircraft fleet like fighter jets, helicopter bomber aircraft, etc. United States has more than 13,000 aircraft fleet. Russia, China, India are in top 5, whereas only France has 972 air fleet. Industrial sovereignty keeps aerospace jobs and technology within Europe. Next-gen warfare addresses future battlefield needs like electronic warfare, artificial intelligence, cyber, and satellite integration. Europe facing many challenges like political tensions, especially between Dassault and Airbus. Budget overruns, expected cost 100 billion plus. Euro technological complexity, United States dominance with F-35 and potential next-generation air dominance. Europe will replace current fighter aircraft like the Dassault Rafale and Eurofighter Typhoon by 2040. UK, Italy, and Japan working on global combat air program. A 6th-gen fighter with artificial intelligence co-pilots, hypersonic weapons, and sensor fusion. Jet will be operational by 2035. Companies like BAE Systems, Leonardo, Rolls-Royce, Mitsubishi are working day and night on program Eurofighter Typhoon upgrades are done, but it's a 4.5 generation jet. Sweden was part of the UK's Tempest program, but now it's focusing more on its own national project. This gives Sweden more control and protects its independent military power. Sweden is making a new advanced fighter jet, led by Saab, the same company that makes the Gripen jet. This future aircraft project is called Flight System 2020. It is a 6th-generation jet, expected to fly after 2035. The jet will be very hard to see on radar, like the American F-35. This means it can enter enemy airspace without being detected. Saab is using artificial intelligence software to help the jet fight on its own. They tested a new AI system called Centaur, which flew a real Gripen E-jet in combat training without a pilot's help. The artificial intelligence decided when to fight and how to fly, like a robot pilot. This new jet will not fight alone. It will control small drones, also known as loyal wingmen, during missions. These drones can spy, jam enemy radar, or even attack. Fighter jets take 10 to 15 years to build. Sweden wants to stay ahead. If Sweden only uses foreign jets, like the F-35, it can't fully control control how it defends itself. In wartime, by building its own jet, Sweden helps Europe become less dependent on the United States of America. Europe is moving toward independence, but for the next 10 to 15 years, it will remain dependent on the F-35. Europe cannot replace the F-35 right now, technologically or politically, but by 2040, if Future Combat Air System and Global Combat Air Program if succeed, Europe may not just match it, it might build something better, tailored for European defense without reliance on the United States. Until then, Europe still flies in the shadow of the F-35. Let's make some noise, don't be a ghost viewer. Like it, comment, subscribe, and share before the next video drop.